this is Morgan Chin here. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here with Coda for frequently asked questions about the MSHCI program part 2. Coda's really excited. Yay! I love MSHCI. Woo! Oh, okay. And I'm excited because I'm going to answer some more questions. I get a lot of questions in my inbox on LinkedIn and my email about the program, and I thought I would answer them all here so that I can send these to people and they can see some common questions that I get. So stick around and we're gonna get started. Okay, so we'll start with some general questions. Okay, how challenging did you find the program and what is the workload like? So the program is not challenging at all. I don't feel as if it's challenging. It is a lot of workload in the first semester. Oh, here he goes again, eating the mic. Come on, buddy. Okay, sit. Good boy. There's a lot of workload in the first semester, I definitely would say. You have 2 group projects and you are working on a lot of requirements for those projects. And so you're doing a lot, and group meetings, they're another class in themselves. So it's a lot of work, but then after that, the workload is pretty regular. I guess, what does that mean? It's not a lot of work. You'll have a lot more free time second semester in the second year to do other things if you want to do side projects, independent learning, work in labs, TA, do research if you want to even work, like do internships and stuff. You'll definitely have time to do that. First semester, don't recommend it because it's a lot of work. Considering that I'm an architecture background with minimal tech experience, do you think it'll be hard for me to cope with this particular program? Not at all. If I came from teaching, no technical experience, and I can do it, then you can definitely do it. There's some similarities you'll find in processes between architecture and design. So I wouldn't count yourself out. I think you'll be fine. What is it like to live in Atlanta? How expensive is it in terms of cost of living? Is it easy to find accommodation? That's a good question. Maybe I should do a video about living in Atlanta because I do get that question as well. I love living in Atlanta. I think it's really great. I don't have any complaints about it. You're downtown in Midtown in Atlanta, so you probably don't know where that is, but it's like a little north of like central downtown, and there's a lot of walkable places near campus that you can get food. That's really nice. There's like shops kind of near at Atlantic Station. Expensive, it depends on where you live in Atlanta, and you could live in a wide variety of places. I would say living near campus is gonna be a lot more expensive because they know your students, so they're gonna exploit that. And just living downtown in general is gonna be more expensive. I think some people pay like $1,200 for their room downtown, but you can find something in the 900s, thousands from what I've heard. I didn't live downtown, I lived OTP or out the perimeter, which means my rent was substantially cheaper. I didn't have to pay those fees. So I would definitely say cost of living is not too expensive. Like groceries are cheap, gas and stuff is cheap. It's easy to find accommodation. So like apartments, yeah, there's a lot of apartments all over. You'll just want to find maybe like a roommate or something and find the best apartments for you. There's lots of options. And maybe I'll do a video about that, living in Atlanta. Do you see people in the course with 10 plus years of work experience or folks in their mid to late 30s, or is it mostly students in their 20s? Yeah, so I don't very often see people with 10 plus years of work experience, but I've only been there for these 2 years, last year and this year. We might have 1 or 2 students with that much work experience, but it shouldn't deter you. It really doesn't matter. If this is what you want to do, it doesn't matter what anybody else is doing, go for it. If you have the piece and you know this is what you're supposed to do it. There's a lot of people who do have work experience, even if it isn't 10 plus years, they do have experience working. And I will say when it comes to internships and jobs, they do prefer people with work experience, even if it's not in the field. So I would say that could be an advantage. So I would apply. If you don't mind me asking, in light of COVID-19, how is Georgia Tech adapting to the new restrictions for master's students? Yeah, so we have our classes online. A lot of them are hybrid, so you might have like 1 or 2 face-to-face meetings that you have in the semester, and the rest of the classes are all online using Blue Jeans. And the professors teach from there. They're mandating masks, so everyone has to wear masks in indoor buildings on campus, as well as social distancing is important. I think you can get some type of like academic punishment or something if you don't wear your masks and you don't leave the building, so they're not having that there. You gotta wear your mask. I don't know, I haven't been to campus since it got shut down, really. Oh, they send out news reports every week when the coronavirus first started about what was going on, what the campus was doing about it. Anytime there's any like major update, they're gonna send out something. So I think that they're adapting as best as they can considering the situation. They're trying. And we also have contact tracing testing, or is it contact tracing? No, it's surveillance. That's what it is, it's surveillance testing. So you're supposed to get tested every week if you're on campus, and it's like group testing, and they contact you if you need to get tested again to help keep the numbers down. They also are giving out like coronavirus tests. I think they're giving out the vaccine now. So I think they're doing, you know, a pretty good job. Oh guys, look at Coda. Wait. Okay, so he just looked up because I said something, but he was laying so sweetly in my lap. This is my favorite time with him because he's calm and so sweet. Okay, let's go on to the next question, which is, what was your favorite experience at Georgia Tech? I spoke too soon. Attack of the dog. Coda, I don't want any kisses right now, but thank you. Okay, favorite experience at Georgia Tech. Well, that's a good question because I like so many different things. I don't know if I have a favorite experience, but again, you guys know if you watch my channel, I'm always talking about internships, and that's been my favorite thing that came from the program is just internship opportunities, and the internships I've done, they've been amazing. So that's been nice. I also have really enjoyed the courses. It's so tailored to you, just kind of doing whatever you want with the curriculum and focusing on your interests, and I love that. And I've gotten to just like create different things, learn so much, which has been amazing. So I definitely also would say the courses. Okay, hey, don't start that. Next question is, what was the most challenging thing for you in this program? I think the classes where I had to program, I took two classes where I had to program, and one of them was computer as an expressive medium, which is one optional foundational class for the digital media track, and there's a lot of programming in that class, and I can't program, but the TA was amazing. Shout out to you. It really helped me. Like, she'd stay on the Blue Jeans call with me for hours trying to figure out my project because I didn't know what I was doing, and she kind of introduced a lot of stuff. And like, I know the basics. I've taken an intro to Java class, so that really helped. But I needed a lot of help, and it was a lot because I had to keep working on it. And then I had this final project where I had to use an Arduino and code, and I'm like, y'all, I cannot program. So once my project was working, I stopped. I did not go above and beyond. I did not do any of that. I don't want to break it. So that's been difficult. What value do you get out of the program? Did the curriculum prepare you for your next job? Value that I got out of the program is the skills it has taught me. The technical skills are very difficult to learn on your own. It's possible, but it's challenging. So learning those skills in school has been really beneficial, and it has prepared me for the jobs that I've had and the jobs that I will have. It doesn't teach you everything. It can't. It's only 2 years, but I think it has done a good job with what it has done for me, which is teach me the basic UX design process, and that's really important. How to research, how to design, how to do interaction design, how to prototype, like those kinds of things I learned, and I think it has been very beneficial. Okay, so let's talk about jobs and internships. My favorite topic outside of portfolios. Okay, so where do MSHCI graduates generally work? Any tech hub or big cities near Atlanta, or companies in other states? I don't think there's a general place where MSHCI students work. Everyone goes different places. I mean, some people want to work in startups. Some people want to work in huge companies. People want to do different things like research, design, PMs. Like, It's a general place. People work all over. And if you go to the website, they put out a report every year of internships where people interned, as well as where the last graduates worked. So you can kind of, seriously, you just scratched my face. Sit down. You can kind of, like I was saying, see the patterns of that. So check out the website for that. Coda, are you providing stress relief to the people? Yeah, you telling them good luck? Good luck, people. You can do it. I mean, good luck, people. Good luck. All right, next question. Are there good companies to work in Georgia itself, like in the case of HCI, UW, or do we seek other places? There are good places to work. I worked at Home Depot, which also has a location near campus if you want to work during the school year, and I thought it was amazing. I think there's Coca-Cola, there is Accenture, I think that's how you say it, right next to campus, which is really cool. There is Verizon, there's Twitter. I think Facebook, Google are building offices right now as we speak. I know Microsoft has a good presence, IBM has a big presence in Atlanta. There's a lot of companies. If you want to stay in Atlanta, that's definitely an option. If you want to leave though, that's an option. And you're going to find more jobs probably on the West Coast, but there are jobs here. And there's smaller companies that you can work with. There's also, these aren't small companies, but there's ADP, there's Salesforce, like they have those options if it's something that you're interested in. Okay, next question. Yeah. How often do you think graduate students come across opportunities from companies like Microsoft, Amazon, and Google? I think it happens pretty often. I would say every year there are people that go to Microsoft, Amazon, Google, whether it's for internships or full-time jobs. If it's something that you're interested in, it's definitely doable. And we have a lot of alumni at those companies. So it's a lot of connections you have where you can reach out to people, try to get referrals, get more understanding about the job, about the company. They're usually posting their internship openings in the Slack channels and stuff. So I think it happens every year. And if that's something that you want, you're gonna have to work very hard to get it, okay? But it's doable. People do it all the time. We had a big group, maybe 3, 4, who were at Amazon this past summer. There was 4 at Facebook, 1 at Google because they had to cancel their UX design internship, or there probably would have been more. What was the other company? Microsoft. We didn't think we had anyone at Microsoft this past year, but I think the year before there might have been someone. Is it possible to work a full-time job while taking these courses? Yes, it is. In the first semester, I do not recommend that unless you just have to, but it's so much work, you're gonna like burn yourself out. After that, second semester or the second year, you can definitely work. I'm actually doing an internship right now, thanks to the pandemic. You know, one good thing I guess that came out of it is that my internship is on the West Coast, so I take courses in the morning and then in the afternoon I start my internship and work. But even before that, you could definitely work. There's offices kind of near Tech that you could walk to work when we were on campus. So it's definitely doable and students have done that before. Okay, now we're gonna talk about courses and labs. So here we go. Which classes are the most useful? Who are the good professors? That's a good question. So the most useful classes, I think it depends on what you want to do, right? So like I want to do AR, VR, so my most interesting or useful classes won't be the same as yours if you want to be a UX engineer. There's a ton of useful classes, and we actually usually have some type of like spreadsheet where we review the classes and the workload and different things like that. So I would kind of be more specific. Maybe if you see this in the comments, let me know what your interests are and I can recommend some things, or maybe somebody who can recommend some things if I can't, because you know I don't know everything. And then the other part of the question was, graduate school so far in my experience has been very different from undergrad, in which I have not ever worried about who the professor of a course is. I don't even think most of the courses professors are on Rate My Professor. Like, it just doesn't matter. And I don't know if this is every grad school or just Georgia Tech, but in our MSHCI program, most of the professors are really good. I maybe have had one where I'm kind of like, but for the most part, they're all really good. And so I don't really ever ask like, oh, how's the professor? I typically ask, how's the class? Like, what kind of work are we doing? What are we learning? Let me see the syllabus, that kind of stuff. I mean, there's no there's no like, oh, I want to take classes by this professor, because they might not teach things that you're interested in. And it's not like there's 30, like in undergrad, there are like 5 professors teaching intro to chemistry or chemistry 1. It's not like that. So if you want to take interactive fiction, there is 1 class with 1 professor. So either you take it or you don't. And it doesn't matter who's teaching it. It typically doesn't rotate either in the next semester. So you really can't think about that. You have to think about like, what classes do I want to take and why? How do I get into those classes? And not about the professors, because they don't matter. But overall, I've had great experiences. What did you think of the overall course structure and their approach to teaching in the program? Like I just said, really, really good. Courses are great. A lot of project courses, a lot of hands-on work. So that's really great. That's kind of how I like to learn. How approachable are the faculty members? Wonderful. I've never had a faculty member not be approachable. I've never really had any professor that I couldn't approach or talk to. I haven't experienced that. They're really kind, willing to help, willing to talk to you, before class, after class, office hours. They're really, really nice people. So I don't know, maybe there's some bad professors and I just haven't taken their classes, but I haven't heard anything. So I wanted to ask you if you have any favorite professors that have labs you suggest I look into. No. I will say that I work with Dr. Roberts right now in her Orchid lab. She's also my master's project advisor. She's amazing. If you're interested in educational technology, definitely look her up when you get to the program, when you get accepted, and talk with her. I'm interested in ed tech, so that's all I really wanted to do. So I connected with her. She also teaches educational technology, the course, for graduates and undergraduates, and it's a really good class. So I think she might be even teaching another ed tech course this semester. I can't remember, but my dog. But I really like her, but I can't recommend specific professors and labs because again, it depends on your interest. Are there any teachers that you highly recommend in the DM track? Same thing. Don't recommend any teachers or professors. Focus on the class. Do you want to take the class? Take the class, because that's the only person teaching it. There are less visual design perspectives in the course. Does it affect the overall experience? Because like you, I want to be a product designer. It can put a damper on things. I have to be honest. I feel like there should be more visual design classes, and it can put a damper on things, but does not stop you from becoming a product designer. Tons and tons of students leave, become a product designer. I'm a product designer. You can do it. You're gonna have to do some self-learning on your own, which is totally fine. Just some self-practice. And there are 1 or 2 visual design classes you can take. So I would definitely not let it deter you. I still think the program is wonderful and the best choice for me, even though they probably need more visual design classes. Last question in this subject, do you learn specific software, Adobe XD, Photoshop, Illustrator, etc.? Yes, you do, but not because the professors sit down and teach it to you. They'll say, hey, you need to create this project with this, and that, go. And then you and your group have to figure out what software are we going to use. We're going to use Figma, are we going to use Adobe XD? Like, what are we doing? That's when you learn it, because you don't have a choice, because you have to do your projects, and you kind of learn through doing, but they don't sit there and like teach you. If you have questions about software, I'm sure they'll help you like with office hours or if you go up to them after class. But a lot of it is like YouTube videos, reading articles, and learning by doing, which is really the best way to learn, is by doing something. So that's how you learn it. Yeah. Okay, let's talk GRA, GTA. The first question says, if I wanted to work as a GRA, should I be looking into the labs or the research projects? Yes, you should. There are a ton of labs at Georgia Tech, a ton. So, and a lot of times they might be looking for like UX designers and things. So if you're interested and you get accepted, I would start looking at, what's available, what do you want to do? First semester, like I said, is intense, okay? So don't overload yourself with classes. Don't do that. Don't try to get all these labs. I'm not saying you don't do labs, but I'm saying like just kind of start to see how things are gonna go and then like ease your way in there. It's my advice, but you can do it however you want to do it. I would definitely look at labs and different things though, if that's something you're interested in. And forgot to say that you can get a GRA that way too, by maybe like volunteering in labs or going to the lab meetings and stuff. Last question, how do I prepare to get a TA? Who do I talk to? And how much are you paid for this? So get a TA, you can take a class with a professor, and then the next semester you can be their TA. You can reach out to them and say like, hey, I took this class in undergrad. I'd love to help you, because sometimes they need TAs for undergrad classes. You can just reach out to people. That's what I did. I was like, hey, you guys are having educational technology. I was a teacher. I feel like I'd be a really great candidate for this. And I talked to the professor and I was able to get that position, and I've had it ever since. So it's doable. Talk to the professors. A lot of them won't hire you unless you take their class. So take their class, do a good job, participate, have a good grade, that matters. Now, pay is like a stipend. You get paid like $975? Y'all, I'm making this up. It's $900 something a month. It's not that much, but your tuition is paid for, which was the big thing for me. As an in-state student, all my tuition is paid for, and I don't have to worry about tuition. I just have to pay like, I think fees or something like that. And then I get that $900 stipend every month, which isn't a lot, but it's better than nothing. Okay, so that's how much you get paid. And to be honest, truly honest, grad school is expensive. So I'd rather get paid in tuition than get paid in money. And that's just my opinion. Pay my tuition. I don't want to pay for this degree. So that's what they do, and it's wonderful. Okay, so thank you so much for sticking around for Frequently Asked Questions, HCI program number 2. If there's any questions that I missed, or things you didn't hear, drop the questions down below. Comment. If you're applying to the program, maybe you can meet up with some other people who are also applying, review each other's personal statements or portfolios. Definitely comment down below if you have questions or just anything like that. I'm here to cheer you on. And I just want to say good luck to anyone applying to the Georgia Tech MSHCI program. I really hope it works out in your favor and you get accepted. And I know that you can do this. So let go of your anxiety, breathe, let go of your nerves. You've got this. And things work out the way they're supposed to. So if you get in, that's where you're supposed to be. Take the opportunity and run. If you don't get in, maybe try again the next year. And if it doesn't work, hey, things work out the way they're supposed to. So wherever you do end up is exactly where you're supposed to be. And you'll look back and be like, oh, that's why it didn't work out. And you'll be happy. So it's okay. And Coda and I are cheering you on, right? He's actually chewing something. Yay! Okay. Well, have a great day. Bye.